Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Brian Zill. I'm a United Way board member, and I am so excited to be here tonight. We are working on the Power of 10. Power of 10, what does that mean? Power of 10 is United Way a few years ago started the Ready, Set, Go program. Ready, Set, Go program is a really important program in my life. What we do is we help pack bags for children who have food insecurities in our neighborhood, in our communities. And what we are doing today is we are asking for $10 donations to help us raise funds for this program. So I've got one of our volunteers here, Shirley. Shirley, do you mind telling us a little bit about how you got involved with the Ready, Set, Go program, and what does that mean to you?
Sure. So I got involved. We went over to Hawthorne Elementary, where it was originally housed, and asked what we could do to help the community. And they told us about this program where they were doing the bags, the weekend food bags for the kids that have food insecurity. And at the time, it was the teachers and the principal who were running it all on top of their day jobs. And so we gathered a group of volunteers to come in and start doing it weekly to pack these bags for him, and then eventually it came over here in his house at the United Way now.
So how many bags are we doing right now?
Up to about 200 bags a week.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
incredible. And so these children, I mean, have you heard any like stories, like how has this impacted these kids' lives?
Well, there's so much need that you wouldn't expect. There's a big discrepancy between the schools that really don't have a lot of food insecurity, and then just up the street there's where 70% of the population are below poverty level.
Wow.
Where they really don't have food at home. We have some kids who live out of cars who are homeless in the district.
And this is right here,
right here in
Idaho Falls.
Mhm.
Wow.
There's a lot of need that lots of us, I mean, just giving time, giving just a little bit of money, it's easy to help these kids who
Absolutely.
don't have anything.
Absolutely. Well, we really appreciate all that you've done to help the United Way. We really appreciate, I know, as a child who went through food insecurities and not knowing where my next meal may or may not come from. I mean, we always had the basics, very, very, very basics, but a lot of times it was very, gosh, I get emotional thinking about it. You just don't know, where like a real solid meal is going to come from. Things like this is incredibly important, and we really appreciate everything that you've done and helping out the community. Are there any thoughts, like if you were to tell somebody today, why is this an important program? Why would you donate $10 to this? What would you tell them?
I'd say because every child deserves to know where their next meal is. Every child deserves to be fed. And most of us in the community can help with that and can make a difference in any child.
Appreciate that. Shirley, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Awesome. Well, there you go, guys. You heard it straight from Shirley, one of our fantastic volunteers who's been helping out the United Way with this amazing program and what we're doing. And so, again, I want to remind everybody, if you go to the United Way website, there's a link. There should be a link in the comments for everybody on my page. I will post that here shortly, but I would encourage you to go and click on that link. $10. I can't stress you enough. That is less than 2 coffees. That is a lunch. That is, that is just such a small amount, and that's going to feed one of our kids in our community for a weekend. And that is one of our over 200 bags that gets donated. And so, and with that, when you donate today, thanks to Teton Auto Group, they've actually donated VIP tickets for us to share at the next hockey game, where you will actually be entered in with every donation. You're going to be entered in for a chance to win. So we're going to be doing the first drawing on that in about 5 minutes. So get on the website and go make your donation. The cool thing is, too, you can do what I did, and you can actually hit that monthly reoccurring button, and they're just going to take it out every month. 15, 20, whatever you have $5, guys. Every single dollar counts, and that goes towards a meal for a child. So we have up here lined up actually what it looks like for the children. So you're gonna go through, they're gonna get oranges, apples, oatmeal. There's so much different things that go into making these bags. We try to grab things that are helpful and useful for them. So real quick, I want to actually introduce Shelly. Shelly, do you mind? How are you doing, Shelly?
Hey, how are you?
Good. So you've been involved in the Ready Set program for a little while now.
Since the beginning.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness!
since
Wow.
the beginning.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
Hawthorne days.
And so tell us a little bit, how did this come about? How has this been helpful? And what are maybe some stories you could share for us?
Sure, yeah. So like I said, I've been involved in it since it was started over at Hawthorne. That's where it was housed. And it all started because we saw a need. We saw kids that needed food. They would come to school. They would be very angry, and I actually call us hangry,
Makes sense.
And they would tell us the reason why is because they didn't have any food over the weekend, or they didn't have food at night.
Wow.
And so because of that, we said, okay, there's a need, and United Way was willing to step up and be that supporter for us. And so it was amazing to see what happened to these kids when we were able to actually provide them with food. They were able to not have any, apprehension going home on the weekends when it came to food. There's always other things they're up against, but they knew that that bag of food was going to be consistent.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. And they knew that especially over those long breaks where, it's 2 weeks of not being in your safe spot, not having people who necessarily are going to be smiling at you or things like that. Oh, I have a microphone. Great.
Oh, perfect.
That would still be consistent.
Right.
And so, I've loved being part of it. I am a huge advocate for it because if basic needs are not met, especially when we're working
Absolutely.
with, kids, we're going to see problems.
Absolutely.
Additionally, too, I think it's been beautiful for parents because this is something that they don't have to feel like they're not providing for their kids because, we always think that parents are doing the best, and we know they are.
Sure.
But times are hard.
Times are hard.
It's been hard since COVID. It definitely hasn't gotten easier.
Right.
And right now, we know times are hard. And so being able to provide this to parents and have parents tell me, thank you, this is one less thing I have to worry about, is just great. So
That's incredible. So, so this has been a little while that you've been involved.
Yeah.
Are there any moments that stand out in your mind? Like, are there any stories, anything from the kids that you've heard? What do you, if you could share anything with somebody who's maybe considering donating today, what's something you've heard that's just been amazing?
It's that they come and seek me out, which, kind of seems a little like counterproductive, I feel like,
Sure.
because it can be seen as, it's not a bad thing, but people don't want to have these insecurities. They don't want to say,
Absolutely
hey,
not.
I'm in need of these things, but these kids are proud to receive it.
Wow.
Like, it's a positive thing for them. So for them to come and seek me out and be like, hey, Mrs. M, where's my bag? I'm like, all right, let me do my job for you.
Sure.
Let me do this
I love
for
that.
you. Additionally, too, over at Ethel Boys, we actually were involving the whole school with it. So
Okay.
I have kids who, they love to be the deliverers of the bags. We
wow.
keep everything anonymous because we
Sure.
want kids to feel comfortable.
Right.
But, they love being my helpers on Fridays. And so,
cool.
we've talked about this is why we're doing it. We're doing it because we're helping other people. Because if you needed help, this is what we would do for you.
I love that.
And so to have that community within our school
That's
is
amazing.
just beautiful. So
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, in the time that you've been doing this, how many bags do you think a year? If you had to guesstimate, right?
Yeah, I think at the highest during my Hawthorne days, it was like 70. So 70 a week
70 a
times,
week, wow.
And now I'm at Ethel Boys, and we're at about 45 a week. So
Wow.
gosh, I want to say a couple
thousands.
thousand.
Yeah, thousands of bags.
and just it's wonderful. I just love being able to do this for the kids.
It's amazing. That's incredible. And do you notice a difference now? So when they're at school, after being able to be a recipient of this program, are they able to maybe focus more? Does it make it just a little less difficult for them being at school?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think they like I said, they know that security is there. And so they know that if they need something, they can come ask for it. They know that if they're hungry, that food will be there. They don't have to worry about it,
Wow.
you know, because we see, especially in like the elementary setting where I work, on Fridays can be a really hard day because we're going home to that inconsistency.
Sure.
And some of these families are very consistent, but not having food
Right.
can definitely make things a little bit harder. So
Sure.
I
Sure.
think that yes, we do see positive impacts, and I think, like I said, the biggest one is it's provided a sense of community for our school,
I love that.
so that everybody is part of it, and it's not just these kids receiving these bags.
Right.
We're all part
Right.
of this because we all care about each other and want everybody to
Sure.
have the basic needs.
I love that. Well, we sure appreciate it. Is there any last words, anything that you would say just to, again, remind everybody, guys,
Yeah.
this is something that it is happening. It's here. It's local.
Yeah.
This is in our schools.
Yeah,
What
I
would
mean,
you say?
I would say we just need to do it. When I come in here, I always get to see Carol and I get to see Ariel. And I was actually telling Carol a few weeks back that we were talking about this idea of just giving $10. And that day, I had literally spent $8.57 on a coffee.
Wow.
So to me, it's like
Yeah.
instead of spending that on one cup
Sure.
of coffee for myself, why
Right.
not give $10
Yeah.
to help this kid eat for 2.5 days?
Oh my gosh.
Because it's that easy. So I would just
I
say,
love that.
just give. It's so
I
easy.
love that. So, and another thing too is it's maybe we don't have money to donate, but we're always looking for volunteers.
Yes.
We're always looking for other opportunities. Maybe even you might have a great network. You might be able to just help us recommend, recommend to other people who might have the resources to donate.
Yeah.
So even if you don't have the money yourself, please, share this,
Yes.
like the page, go on and make sure that everybody knows that this is something that's available, and hopefully with the community rallying behind it, we can hit that goal. So we have a goal of $10,000.
Yeah, I saw
Ten-
you guys are halfway there.
Yeah, we're halfway there. $10,000 is going to feed. It's going to actually fuel this program for April and May. So the next 2 months, get us at least through the end of the school year. And that's what we really are trying to do right now, is just get us through that. So thank you so much. We
Yeah.
really appreciate all your help and
I appreciate you guys so much.
everything else. So
Yeah.
great.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, guys. So you heard it. We are halfway through our goal. $10,000. That's going to help us get to finish out the year in the program. This is going to help us get to the amount of. Oh, look at this. We're at 5,548. That is officially more than halfway there. We did it. But $10,000, guys. That is the goal. So. As we promised, everybody who gets on and donates, we're going to draw a ticket. Ariel, do you mind? Come on in. We're going to let you do the drawing. Okay, so these are for, remind us again, what are these for?
Spud King ticket.
Okay, for
So,
Spud King tickets.
they
Not
get-
just any Spud King tickets, right?
I think they're the playoffs. They're the
Playoffs,
Spud
and I believe they're VIP.
Yeah.
VIP means you get to sit up in the VIP suites.
Yeah.
So,
Right, put it
okay,
up high so I can't
up
see.
high.
Yeah.
Shake it up. Who do we got?
Claudia Dixon.
Claudia Dixon. All right, that's fantastic. Claudia, thank you so much for donating. Again, every single dollar goes to feed our students, our children here in the community, and we really appreciate that. So I would love to bring Chris, who is our executive director for the United Way, in for a minute to talk a little bit about the Ready, Set, Go program. Chris, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Okay, so tell us a little bit about the Ready, Set, Go program. Why did we start this?
So back in 2019, working with Hawthorne Elementary, we started an after-school program. It was called SOAR. They reached out to us with some district employees, just telling us that they had a lot of absenteeism, some behavioral issues. And here we go,
Yeah, gotta have that microphone on.
because I'm quiet.
Nobody's ever accused you of that before.
So during these sessions that we had at Hawthorne Elementary, we noticed this little boy that kept running over to his backpack in the middle of our program and kind of doing something, and then he'd come back to the program. So finally, our coordinator said, "What's going on? What are you doing over there?" And he's like, "Well, I just want to bite a banana, but I need to take half of my banana home to my brother." And it was like, oh my God. conversations that we had with the district and other schools, we said, we need to fix this. So we started small. We started with 20 bags at Hawthorne Elementary. It's back in 2019. And then here we are today with 200 bags a week in many different schools in District 91 and 93. We also do some outskirts of Idaho Falls, but yeah, there was a need, and we
200
just
bags.
saw it. Yeah.
200 bags a week. So you're telling me, and like that story you mentioned, it's not just the student who's receiving it. A lot of times these meals are going to feed more than just the student themselves.
Yeah.
So we know that there are over 200 children in our community who need this.
Well, and the best part of this program is we're kind of the behind the scenes, our United Way, and the counselors and principals are really the outward facing. They get to have the conversations with the families and the students. They get to be the heroes. We're just kind of fulfilling the needs for these families because we know if they have some food insecurity issues, what else does that family need? So we have 30 plus partners that we can help with direction for those families, and we work with the counselors and make sure that they have as much information as they need.
It's incredible. So just again, for everybody who's just maybe joining in, number one, thank you so much for taking a minute to just join in and watch what we're doing. So I'm here with the United Way. I've been a board member here for a few years now. Chris is our executive director, and we're talking about the power of 10. What is the power of 10? Well, the power of 10 is we're putting together these bags. We're actually at the warehouse here at the United Way, and we are talking about feeding children in our community who have food insecurity. So one of the bags right here is just filled with all kinds of goodies, milk, just basic
Shelf-stable milk.
needs. Yep. Things that are going to help the children. And what we're asking for today is we need $10,000 to help get us through April and May, to help get us through the end of the school year. What this does is each one of these bags goes home with a child over the weekend, because we know that at school we can take care of their breakfast and their lunch, and we can help provide that nutrition they need while they're there. But unfortunately, sometimes in our community, and I'm talking about right here in Southeast Idaho, this is a really, truly ongoing thing. We have children who go home on the weekend and are not sure where they're going to get their next meal. And that's not okay with me, and I don't know that that's going to be okay with anybody else watching this. As somebody who grew up with food insecurities, this is a topic that is very, very near and dear to my heart. As a child, I remember going to my friend's house at dinner. Because obviously I wanted to hang out, I'm a kid, but I was just begging and pleading and hoping that their mom would offer to feed dinner, right?
Yeah.
And that is something that just breaks my heart.
Yeah.
That's not something that we should be seeing in 2025. We're
No.
better than that.
Absolutely. And everybody always asks us why. Why does United Way exist? And there's a national survey kind of project through Rutgers University. It's called ALICE. So ALICE is Asset Limited Income Constraint Employed. Those are our essential workers. Those are the individuals that keep us going. They're working at Home Depot. They're our waitress. They're next to you in church. They're the first year teachers. They're childcare workers. And they don't make enough to make ends meet. So what we can do with our programs is really just kind of lift those families up. If they don't have to worry about food for that child on that weekend, that's just a little bit more they can put in their pocket to pay for something else. So we have currently in Eastern Idaho, 45% of individuals are ranked in the ALICE levels.
So again, Alice, these are working. This is a family. They are working. This is not like they're trying to make ends meet, doing the best they can.
A lot of these families are working 2 jobs. Idaho is $7.25 minimum wage. You can't even afford rent, let alone childcare, food. They barely have any insurance because they don't qualify. They make too much. It's always that little variance. And so every month they're making the hard decision as to where their money goes. So really excited that not only can we help them with our food bags, but as I mentioned, knowing more about the families through the counselors, we have a Ready, Set, Go clothing and hygiene project that they
Amazing.
can help the kids with clothing. We also have a STEM project, so they can think, make, create trailers, so we can bring in STEM projects to the schools. And we also have our, can you whip it around?
Oh, perfect.
So we have our Ready, Set, Go.
I'm gonna flip this one around here.
Well, that's good.
Okay.
So this is our Ready, Set, Go reading program. It's just to hopefully encourage more kids to have home libraries and just for the love of reading.
I love that.
You'll see it everywhere we go. Our
I love that.
concerts.
Guys, look at all these books. That is so many books.
Yeah.
And anybody in the community is able to take advantage of this program.
Schools mostly and other
Schools,
nonprofits.
okay, perfect.
But what we love to do is for holiday breaks and school breaks, we give the counselors books to include in the bags.
Great.
So it's just one added bonus for those families.
Gotcha. So Chris, do you mind walking us through, like, maybe, what do we have? Let's see what goes into
Sure.
actually making a bag real quick.
So it's kind of a recipe. Ariel's got this down pat. So they get a shelf-stable milk.
And that's important
Yeah.
because it stays for a little while. They don't
Yep.
have to worry about refrigerating it.
Protein. We're trying to keep kid-friendly, nutritious food.
That's
Easy
fantastic.
to serve. They get 2 little ravioli cups. They get 2 little macaroni cups. And what kid doesn't love this stuff?
Wow.
They get 2 boxes of cereal. Not so nutritious, but we know they eat it. It's that happy belly thing.
Absolutely.
They're going to get 2 granola bars for snacks. They're going to get 2 Go-Gurts for applesauce.
Love that.
They're going to get 2 crackers, just another snack. They get 4 fruit snacks.
It's great.
They get 2 more oatmeals. They're going to get 2 apples and an orange, or depending on what's available, maybe 2 oranges and an apple. So our goal is really 2.5 days of food. And we know high percentage that this is supplemental food, and it's also shared with siblings.
Right.
So if you are not able to make a donation to us today, we have the alternative to also shop on our Amazon page. We have a grocery list there.
Fantastic.
The problem with kind of donations for children's programs, Feeding America requires that you purchase the food. So that's why we work with Amazon so much. We do a lot of food drives at Sam's Club, so watch for us there. We also encourage, if your company or church or any type of group want to do a food drive for us, reach out to Ariel or myself. We have a whole list of items that you're able to bring to us for the holiday season, for spring break. We're doing a peanut butter and jelly drive with Bank Idaho, because we also include for this spring break peanut butter jelly and a loaf of bread.
Wow.
Because it's 9 days we're feeding the kids.
Wow.
Yeah. And we're so grateful that Hall Foundation has stepped up to support that week.
So that's a great point. So, Chris, we've been blessed. We have a lot of different organizations who have been involved with the Ready, Set, Go program. I know we maybe can't name them all, but I know Teton Auto Group, Hall Foundation. Who else should we be thanking today for our efforts?
IEC, BEA, across the street we have Subaru. We have several grants that actually support this program. So it's we're now at that cusp where we're really looking to the community to support this program for sustainability. Like Brian said, we're just trying to get through this end of the school year, and at that point in time, we'll kind of decide what next year needs to look like. But we do not see this program, unfortunately, dwindling or going away. It's really necessary. And the best part is 100% of your donation stays here to purchase food.
Wow.
Yeah, nothing's going anywhere else.
Wow.
It's staying local.
That is 100%. So again, I want to reiterate that, guys. So sometimes, when you donate money, there's administrative fees. There's all these different things. Today, every single dollar is going 100% to this program, to support this program. This is putting food in kids' bellies.
Yes. We like to call it the happy bellies.
The happy bellies. happy kids, happy learning, happy community. I mean, that's fantastic. So,
Do we have any questions, Carol, that I can answer?
Somebody asked how many food bags get delivered weekly?
yeah, great
200.
question.
200 go out to the schools. The school counselors that are so invested in this project, they actually come pick them up. So the volunteers come on Wednesday, and then the counselors pick them up on Thursday, and they're discreetly delivered to the kids on Friday to go home.
And Chris, I just want to make sure, specifically as of now, this is in which school districts?
Well, currently it's in D91 and D93 and a little bit of outskirts in our area, but it's not gone too far beyond that.
Sure.
We just don't have the capacity, the
Sure.
bandwidth.
Sure. So again, this is 200 bags a week. Guys, I cannot stress that enough. 200 bags.
Well, you can look over there,
Yes.
Brian. There
Yeah.
are some tubs of bags that haven't been picked up by schools.
Yeah.
So each school kind of has a little tote, and then we know we got it all down to a color system and all kinds of stuff. And woohoo, we have and big announce it, Brian.
We are at $5,879, guys. Thank you so much. Again, I cannot stress to you, we have this ambitious goal of $10,000.
And we've paid
It
for
is-
April.
And we paid for April. That took care of April. There we go. That is 200 bags a weekend for an entire month that we just hit. And so, what a great goal, guys. Thank you so much for that. But we have to we have to get a whole nother month worth there. So if you are able, please go to the United Way of Southeast Idaho's webpage. There's a spot on there where we can donate. Do what I did, if you can, if you're able, to make this a monthly reoccurring thing. You set your amount, whether that's $1, $5, $10, whatever you're able to do. If you can, there's a checkbox. Hit that and make it a monthly reoccurring thing. As promised, we are giving out Spud King tickets. Every single donation gives you an opportunity to win. These are not just any Spud King tickets. These are VIP tickets donated by Teton Auto Group, which we're so appreciative of. So let's go ahead and do our next drawing right here. And our winner is Paige Whitaker. Paige, thank you so much for your donation. Again, you are helping put food in bellies for our children here in Southeast Idaho. So Paige, we're going to go ahead and reach out to you. We'll make sure that you know that you have been a winner. So again, guys, anybody who's just now watching, I want to update you on what we're doing. So we are here at the United Way of Southeast Idaho. We're at the warehouse, and we are talking specifically about our Ready, Set, Go program. And I would love to invite Katie, who's been involved with the Ready, Set program, I believe, since day one. Katie, you might come and talk to us a little bit about what is the Ready, Set program and how did this come about?
Yeah, so I used to be the principal at Hawthorne Elementary here in Idaho Falls, and when I took over, we knew there was this incredible need. I had kids that were coming back every weekend, and they didn't have access to food over the weekend, they didn't have clean clothes or basic hygiene, and so we actually started this with just 20 kids at Hawthorne, and now we're serving, all the schools around here, hundreds of bags a week, and we know that for so many of our families, especially those low income, parents are working 2 and 3 jobs, that we have to make choices sometimes. It's either we pay to keep the lights on, but we don't get to go to the grocery store this week. And so the stress it takes off of parents when my kid comes home every weekend, I know they've got some nutritious meals, they've got fruits and veggies, that it just takes that stress off, and it's one other thing they can focus on. We really were intentional as we've grown this program to make sure that all the food we provide is really kid-friendly. They don't have to have an adult at home to supervise. We're not having to cook meals.
I love that.
They're quick, they're easy.
I love that. I actually, it's funny, as Chris has been, I've been involved with the program for a while, and that kind of just dawned on me.
Yep.
That really is something, this is, because these are Alice families. These are working mom and dads.
Yep.
So not only are they having a hard time providing, but they might not even be able to be home for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Yeah, if mom and dad are working, then what am I going to eat? What's going to happen? And so do I have to wait till later? What if I'm living in a home that I don't have the materials? I visited a lot of families, maybe we don't have all the pots and pans and all the materials I need to cook. Whereas I've got kids who can pick up, I've got breakfast, I've got some mac and cheese for dinner, and it just takes so much stress off of our families and our parents. And Yeah, it's definitely been one of my favorite programs, and we know that it makes a huge impact for so many of our families and our kids in this community.
That's incredible. Again, I've talked about this a little bit, but as a child of food insecurities, in talking about that, it is important to be able to not just find food, but like nutritious food, things that are going to be providing you a healthy meal, right? And obviously, we have to find that balance of what is shelf stable and what's going to provide nutrition, and so something might seem simple, but these oatmeal packs, what an incredible way to get all the different protein and whatnot that you need, but it's also something that's going to last a little while. And so maybe they don't take it and eat it the weekend that they brought it home, but it's going to last a little while in case they are maybe a week or two out and need something further down the road.
Well, and that's why a quick learning of the first year was that this isn't a weekend thing, but the breaks are one of the hardest. That
Oh, wow.
when kids are gone for Christmas or Thanksgiving or spring break,
Sure.
that's 9 to 20 days out of school.
Wow.
And so it's not just a day or two that I didn't have food
Sure.
at home, but that's 15 days that those are the times that we really dig in. We try to make sure they have access for the whole break, and we do peanut butter and jelly and bread. And all of these things don't require a stovetop, right?
Right.
Like I just throw it in the microwave,
Right.
and my belly is full. And the thing that was important to me, especially as an educator, I know when my kids' basic needs aren't being met,
Yeah.
they are not learning. A
Right.
hungry kid who shows up who is tired and hungry and crabby, I know I am not a nice person
Yeah.
when I am hungry. And so that was huge, that they can't learn, they can't be successful if they
Wow.
don't have that consistent access to, to food every day.
That's such an interesting point. I think back to my experience as a child, and obviously, we were a family of free school lunch. I'm a '90s kid, and I remember getting that punch card. I think it's all electronic now, but
It is.
as a '90s kid, we had that punch card. That punch card was everything to me because that meant that was probably the one warm meal a day I was going to get.
Yep.
That was going to be the one more balanced meal that I was going to get. I don't know that anything existed like this, and maybe if it did, unfortunately it does, but what an incredible program for us to be able to provide. And again, I just want to stress, 200 bags a week are going out to not even Southeast Idaho, to District 91 and District 93 families.
Yep.
That is 200 more children in our community who are being fed, and those food insecurities are being met. Thank you to the Ready Set program. So if you were to say to anybody who's considering donating or looking at how they can help the United Way, what would you say to them?
I think this is one of the few organizations that I can actually see where my money goes. So many times when I donate or I give, I have no idea what program it's going towards. I don't know
Sure.
what I'm paying for. But I can tell you, every single bag that we pack, every dollar we spend is going immediately to a child in this community. And I know
incredible.
it's such a huge need
It's incredible.
that, we know what's happening. It's in real time. The food we are buying is going to go home this week. We pack
Right.
every single week for these kids.
Right.
And the other thing I was going to mention, and I don't think people realize this, but during COVID,
Yeah.
all of a sudden there was this huge shift that every day all kids got free breakfast and free lunch. We
Oh
even
my
did
gosh.
to-go bags, and kids
Wow.
would drive by the school in these little pickup lines.
Wow.
That went away. And so for a lot of families that, for whatever reason, aren't comfortable or safe filling out paperwork for free or reduced lunch, or they're not able because they don't
They might not
understand.
know. Yeah.
And so they're racking up these incredible debts of lunch fees and all those things. And so
Right.
oftentimes we see, especially in older kids,
Right.
they just stop eating. And so this is their chance to have some access to food that parents don't have to deal with the forms, and we don't jump through hoops, and there's no
Sure.
judgment.
So
They get what they need.
as somebody who has been in the school system, this is all distributed through our schools.
Yep.
If you maybe know somebody who would benefit from the program, how do they get in contact, or how do they become a part of the program?
So we use our school counselors as kind of that pathway. because they know their kids best, right? Like
Sure.
they know the needs in their community. They are that safe point of contact that
Yep.
people don't have to come pick directly up from us. Like their school counselor is a really safe way, and so if there's a need, they know a family that could benefit.
Wow.
That is the person they reach out to, and those counselors are over here every single week picking up these bags. They take them home every week, and so that's how we use that system to kind of filter through and make sure that we're catching the families that need it most.
Gotcha. And this is anonymous?
Yeah, we don't collect any information. I would say at the boys' elementary, I know Shelly was here a little bit
Yeah.
ago. She says, "Hey, I have 56 kids."
And that's all?
So Shelly's
that's all
going
we
to
know.
come pick up her 56 bags,
Yep.
and then her or her school staff, you
Sure.
know, they're going to be the ones to distribute it, and that really protects the kids and
Sure.
the families that they know too. They didn't have to jump through a hoop. They didn't have to turn in a ton of paperwork. They just, hey, there's a need, and we're going to meet it, and we're going to meet it today.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Katie, again, I just want to it's such an important topic to me. I just want to reiterate, somebody who's been on the front line, is there any particular story or situation that maybe stands out, like as you've done this, maybe a kid who's been through something that has had an impact on you as being a part of this program?
Yeah, so I had a student, and it was kind of a twofold story because Ready, Set, Go really expanded to include food and clothing later on. But I had a family, the very first time I ever visited their house, they didn't have power, they didn't have running water.
Wow.
You walked into their kitchen and I can't tell you how, like the level of like unclean, right? It was very unsafe. And so the mom had a lot of different physical and like mental disabilities that were going on, and so she didn't have the ability to even like go to the store and pick up groceries.
Oh.
She didn't have the money coming in
Right.
to help support her two little ones. And so for her, it was a huge deal that we were able to make sure that every single week
Wow.
he got to go home with what he needed. And she came to me and she told me about a year later, he started with me as just this cute little kindergartner. And she came to me the next year and she said, "Hey, those bags you send home are the only things my kids got to eat this weekend. And I didn't get to." And so for her,
Wow.
she had no way to provide. She didn't
Wow.
have access to the services, to what she needed.
Sure.
She couldn't even get to the grocery store. But she told me about a year later, and I see them often, and I know that for that kid, we made a huge difference.
That's
for that
incredible.
family.
And as a facilitator, that lessening that burden allows them to be more involved in school, to be that generational change potentially, right? Where they're no longer, I'd love to say that we're eradicating hunger, and unfortunately, we still have a lot of work to do. But I do truly believe that this is a huge step in the right direction of making sure that our children in our community are fed. And so this is just one less barrier that they have to worry about, and that they can come to school and just be a little bit more engaged.
Well, and prepared. We know that our kids and our families cannot thrive. They cannot be successful until those basic needs are met. And
Okay.
one of the most basic is food. We have to start there.
Right.
And then when they are safe and they are protected and they're well fed, then we learn,
That's
right?
incredible.
Then we engage, then we can be more successful. But we can't do that if all we're worrying about is like where our next meal is going to come from.
Wow.
So if you have a chance, I'm definitely I'm gonna piggyback on everything Brian has said, that if you want to give, this is your chance, and this is one of the ways I can promise you that the money that you give today is absolutely going to go to a kid to fill their bellies this weekend or next.
Sure.
And you really are. You are helping so many families by participating.
Katie, thank you so much.
Yes.
We really appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank
Brian.
you. So again, I just want to reiterate everything that Katie just said. We are here. If you're just joining in, we're at the United Way. We are in the warehouse. This is where all the magic happens. This is all the money that you're donating literally goes to help these. So again, we're talking about the Power of 10. Well, what is the Power of 10, guys? The Power of 10 is this bag. We've got an apple. We've got fruit snacks. We have applesauce. We have macaroni. Again, these bags are what feeds a child over the weekend. And more than that, as we've heard several times today, this is feeding more sometimes than just one kid. This is them taking it home and feeding, a couple of their siblings. And so real quick, again, if in case you maybe missed it earlier, Chris, you maybe mind walking us through again, like what do we have in the bags here?
Sure. So this is kind of a recipe, like Katie said, it's, we've gone through a lot of different varieties of food. We tried little mandarin oranges and applesauce and little things, and they squirt all over, and we tried juice, that didn't work. So this is our tried and true here. So each kid's gonna get a shelf-stable milk, and lots of protein in that. They're gonna get 2 raviolis, microwavable. They're gonna get 2 mac and cheeses. They're gonna get 2 Kid Delicious cereals.
Every kid wants one of those.
Oh yeah, Fruit Loops, Apple Jacks,
Yes.
all kinds of stuff.
Oh my gosh.
They're gonna get 2 granola bars for snacks.
Fantastic.
They're gonna get 2 applesauce pouches. They're gonna get 2 crackers.
Fantastic.
They get 4 fruit snacks.
I love that.
And they're gonna get 2 oatmeals, as Brian mentioned. And then they're gonna get 2 apples and maybe 2 oranges, or 2 oranges and an apple, just
Sure.
depending. Fruit is so important to these kids that when we were doing the SOAR after school programs, we had trays and trays of fruit. And at the end of the class, we'd say, just take what you want home.
Oh,
And
wow.
it was a free-for-all. These
Wow.
kids were stuffing their backpacks.
Wow.
They were so excited to have fruit. So
That's incredible.
yeah, lesson learned. We want to always have fruit. We do string cheese sometimes. It just depends on what's available. But yeah,
So again, guys, this is the power of 10. $10 goes into one of these bags, which is going to feed a student over a weekend here in Southeast Idaho. So I cannot stress to you how important it is that we are donating. So again, if you are just tuning in, please go to the website of United Way of Eastern Idaho.
UnitedWayIF.org.
Thank you. Which is amazing. There is a link on there. You're going to want to go there and click on the Power of 10, correct?
On the homepage.
It's on our homepage. And please, if you can, whether it's $1, $5, $10, if it's a one-time donation or reoccurring donation, please, we encourage you to do so. So,
And
I
just
believe,
to let you know, we've been capturing all the donations tonight, and
Yes.
we're adding them in every time we do a drawing. So
Yes.
I just added
we-
about 10 tickets.
are we doing another drawing?
It's another drawing.
Okay, here we go. So this is for tickets for the Spud Kings. These are VIP tickets. These are generous Teton Auto Group. And our next winner is Janet
Giannani.
Janet Giannani. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Janet. We sure appreciate your donation. And we will reach out to you and make sure that you receive your tickets. Yeah, so. How are we looking on time, guys?
Got 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes. Okay, another 10 minutes. Okay, we are looking at getting $10,000 to help feed hungry students here in Southeast Idaho. We are, Carol, do we have an idea about where we're at currently? We'll get back to you guys in just a minute, but I know about 20 minutes ago we were at $5,800, which is so incredibly generous, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. That $5,000 gets us through the month of April, and another $5,000 will get us through the month of May. We are giving out 200 bags a weekend. I can't comprehend that, and I hope that is something that resonates with all of you as well. 200 bags, that is 200 children that are all having food insecurities. I cannot tell you how incredibly important this program is, and we cannot do that without the generous donations of our community. So again, if you are able, we would appreciate anything you can do. All right, guys, so we are at $5,900. That's fantastic. $5,900. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Again, I'm here at the United Way, Eastern Idaho. We are talking about our Ready, Set, Go program. This is for bags of food for children with food insecurities. Ariel, would you mind talking to us a little bit about the program? So Ariel's here with the United Way. She's tell us about your position,
All right.
what you do, and
So I'm the community impact manager, And so this warehouse is this is what I do.
This is your dojo.
This is it.
Yes,
This is what I do.
perfect. Okay.
So every week I'm inventorying the food and we're making sure we have enough food.
Sure.
Orders. So I'm the one saying we need $10,000 to finish out the school year.
Wow.
You know, and I'm out here every week making sure that we have our shelves. And if you see, we have some empty shelves back
I know. Look at this, guys. That is not okay.
So
We need to pack these shelves a little bit more.
usually they're full,
Yeah.
and they're not right now. So that's what we're looking at doing to finish out the school year. I coordinate with the counselors every week, and what's really exciting about the counselors is they're very, very respectful that
Wow.
these are donations.
Yeah.
And so I get, if families are moving away and they're no longer in the community, they contact me and say, you know, -3 food,
Sure.
you know, food
Sure.
packs for the week. If someone, we just had a school last week and I got an email that said, Ariel, there's a single mom, her car broke down, she doesn't have money, can we just put her on for
Wow.
a few weeks? She just needs a little bit of
Wow.
help. It's not gonna be a full year, but she just needs a little bit of help right now. And
Wow.
so, of course, like that's what we're here for. She's Alice, right?
Yeah.
She's working hard. So we're here to support that. So I have regular communication with the counselors. Then the volunteers. You met Cheryl Lee earlier. Our volunteers are amazing, but we couldn't do it without the volunteers. There's at least 10 volunteers that come in every single week to pack these 200 bags.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, how long does that take? Like, do you?
An hour. It takes an hour.
Wow.
It takes an hour. Because it's not just packing the food. They have to take it out of all the boxes. They break down the boxes at the end, put it out to the recycling bin.
Wow.
We have to organize them. We have to
Sure.
sort them so that when the schools come, the counselors come on Thursday and Friday to pick them up. They're easy. They're organized. They're ready to go.
You know, one of the things Chris mentioned earlier, so obviously, I mean, today we're here to really talk a lot about the food and making sure that the kids have what they need. But, you know, we also have the ability to sometimes put a book in the bag,
And
right?
we do.
Yeah.
Yes, especially on the breaks. So we're talking spring break,
Uh-huh.
Christmas break, Thanksgiving break. Every kid gets a book, and
Wow.
not only that, they get to pick their book. That's really important.
Oh, that's
for
fun.
us. That's
Oh, cool.
really,
I
really
love
important.
that.
So we will send a lot of books, and
Sure.
that's our stipulation. We give out books, but we want the kids to be able
I
to
love
pick
that.
them.
So we're not just sending out any book.
No,
we're
no.
giving them
Yeah.
quite a variety to choose
Yeah.
from, and they get to pick a book.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I put myself. Gosh, I'm really reaching.
Go
I'm
back
getting
to the
older. Yeah,
90s.
go back to the
Get
90s
back
here.
there.
But you know, again, it's if you have food insecurities, there's a good chance that your family does not have the funds to participate in the book sales, you know,
That's
or
right.
things like that. And so I remember as a child, unfortunately, going and you know you're walking around the library and you're just hoping and praying that a book falls out of the sky
Yeah.
and you get one, and that just never happened. And so you know, having this where you know I see all the Scholastic boxes on the shelves. I mean, these are books that are in schools. These are the books that are popular. These are books that kids are reading.
And they're new.
And they're new,
That's
brand new.
important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's not just a used book. It's a brand new book that
Yes.
gets to be their own. And how incredible is that? And so again, I put myself in that position and again, going back as a kid, just thinking, man, what I would have given to have like one of those. And so sometimes these are, you know, again, I just think if you have food insecurities, you probably can't afford these books, but you also probably don't have things like Netflix and
Yeah.
Hulu and all that, right? And
Right.
you probably don't have a PlayStation, and so a lot of times these books, this food, I mean, these are such an incredibly important part of these kids' lives.
Absolutely. And I think you have to also remember is some of these breaks, we're coming up on spring breaks, that's 9 days.
9 days.
9 days that they don't have access to their lunchroom. So
Wow.
that's a big deal. And
Wow.
we do put more. We put enough food to cover those 9 days. We also put a full can of peanut butter and
Oh, wow.
jelly in there.
Right.
And a loaf of bread so they can make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We put extra stuff in there, but if you think about it, 9 days. And you know, some of these other
Yeah.
holidays, it's 16 days. For Christmas, it was
Wow.
16 days.
Wow.
So that's, when you put it in that perspective, that's a lot of days where they're really hungry.
And again, just to reiterate, for anybody who maybe is just tuning in, this is 200 bags that is going out to students in every single school here in D91 and D93. We have more tickets to give away for our Spud Kings.
Let's do the jersey and save the tickets for tomorrow.
Perfect. Even better. Okay.
So we have one Spud King jersey
Okay.
that Teton Auto Group donated.
Oh my gosh.
We don't have it here because the winner will tell us what size.
I love that. Guys,
So it'll be perfect. You get to pick
this
your
is
size.
fantastic. So, jersey for the Spud Kings, courteous of Teton Auto Group. Let's see who our lucky winner
Okay,
is.
we'll let you do it this
Oh
time.
man, no pressure. All right, guys. Here is for the lucky winner of our Spud Kings jersey. Yeah, you could not. I'm not.
It was him.
It was my own name. I'm gonna go ahead and donate this. You cannot see. That's how you know that this is real. And that's how you know I donated. That is so funny.
That is.
I'm gonna go ahead and take myself out of that. Thank you, though, Chris. Thank you for thinking of me.
See, everyone was automatically
yes,
donated.
but you are automatically donated. That is so funny, guys. Tim Allred, you are our lucky winner of the jersey. So we will reach out to you and make sure you get that jersey. But again, guys, thank you so much. We've got about a couple more minutes left. Chris, do you want to add anything before we go?
So I just really want to say thanks to Brian for being our MC for
Oh,
this
man.
evening.
Gosh, no
Yeah.
pressure. No pressure.
He's been on my board for, we've known each other for over 10 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow.
he's a great board member. He's bringing some great new board members. We have Tyler Porter. So it's just, we're looking for young, kind of high energy board members because as you can see in our warehouse, we got lots going on. So
A lot going on.
yeah, if you've ever had an interest in being on a nonprofit board, reach out to us. We'd love to chat with you.
Absolutely.
So we're doing so good. We're going to go off the air here in a minute. That we're going to save the last 2 tickets, the VIP tickets, and draw tomorrow morning because we still got lots of opportunities to
Yeah.
donate tonight. We'll pull all those names, add it into our little bowl, have Ariel draw it in the morning, and then we'll let the winner know via Facebook, and we'll give you a call too. But
And I'll make sure for everybody watching on my page, because we're actually live on United Way's page and we're live on my page. For everybody on my page, I will post that link to go donate. So if there's been several people who've been watching throughout the broadcast.
and we've been capturing all those donations and putting them
Yes.
in the little
Yes.
bowl here.
Yes, yes. So, Chris, just before we go, I just, again, you have been kind of the lifeblood of this program. You've helped start it. You've worked with everybody. You've heard the stories. If somebody's just tuning in right now, why is this program important?
Because these are kids. Kids cannot, they have no control over the environment of what's happening to them. And whatever we can do to just put a little comfort in these kids' lives, we understand there's a lot of challenges out there. And we want them to be able to learn. It's really hard to go to school when you're hungry. I mean, as I think Katie said, we all get hangry. So
School's hard alone.
yeah.
So,
So this is such a simple project when you think about it. It's a bag of food, it's for the weekend, and they get to come to school Monday with happy bellies, and that's all that we're looking for. Teachers used to be able to keep a lot of food in their drawers, but it got expensive. So this is something that we know that helps those kids have the food on the weekend.
I love that. Chris, thank you. Thank you to your team.
They're
thank
amazing.
you.
We got Carol over here.
Yes.
She's doing all the questions. We got Anna behind the scenes doing the little camera.
Yes.
And then y'all got to meet Ariel. So
Fantastic.
yeah, it's a great team. We would not be able to do all we do without them, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
And my board. I have an amazing board that steps up and does everything I ask them to do. So, but they're hands-on. They love to come pack.
Yeah.
They help out at the concerts. It's just we struck gold and won the lottery with my board. So, but
Well, we're so fortunate. We're blessed to have such an active team who's willing to get in and answer the call. You know, a lot of times it's easy to drive by somebody who's broken down on the side of the road or this. To me, I can truly say as a board member, our team has answered the call. You've heard the need, the cry for these children. What started out as maybe 10 bags or
20.
20 bags has now grown into 200 bags. And I unfortunately don't see that slowing down.
Nope. It's we're gonna do it as long as we need to do it until somebody else
Yeah,
can step in and do it for us. So,
absolutely. Well, again, I just want to say thank you to everybody.
thank you.
We really appreciate it. If you are able, please consider donating $1, $5, $10, $20, whatever you can do. When you get on the website, there is an ability to set it as a monthly, reoccurring donation. Please go on and do that. That is going to help sustain this program. This $10,000 goal is only going to get us through April and May. And then we got to do this all over again. So please, if you are able, jump on. I will be posting the link on my page. For everybody on the United Way page, you should have that link available. And thank you all so much for taking time. And God bless. We'll talk to you guys all soon. Thank you.
Thank you.